Good afternoon. It's after work, finished work, and I'm just doing some more work starting some work to my class combine, my little class Europa, the little silver one. Did do a little bit yesterday, but didn't really achieve much. Spent a lot of time working stuff out. I noticed there was a little bit missing that attached the knife drive. It's like a little link between the knife and the drive arm. But I found it. I put a message on Facebook saying, does anybody know what this part is? I knew there was a bit missing, and I knew roughly what it would be. And somebody said, oh, you looked in the toolbox. And I thought, oh, I don't know. And I hadn't seen the toolbox. But I had a look round, and there's like a flap behind the seat, underneath the seat on the combine, and lifted that up, and yeah, sure enough, there it was. So I sorted that out. Apparently they do go. Apparently you're supposed to keep on greasing them all the time, because once they start going, they just rip it. It rips the end off the knife. Apparently, which is not very good. But there you go. That video I just put on the beginning, that was actually yesterday. Somebody was combining just before the rain came. It was right outside where I work. I think it's a Lexus 600. I videoed it before. It's a local farmer, and they've always used, as long as I can remember, they've always used class combines there. I remember they had a pair of Dominators when I was young. I think they were Dominators. It might have been Senators, but they had cabs on them. I'm sure they're Dominator 85s. And I think before that, before I was born, they did have a New Hollands for a while. But yeah, so seem to buy a new class combine every 3 years. And they try and keep the smaller one as possible. And like, it's funny thinking like a Lexus 600, which is what it is actually a small combine. That's a small combine for what if you went and bought one now. Smallish output, smaller header compared to what you get generally now. Anyway, I've come down the farm just to get just do a little bit of work on the knife for the Europa. I'm just going to do some touching up jobs. There's no point getting it in the crop and finding I've got problems. I might as well just sort out the little niggly issues now, that I know, decent knife is going to make all the difference in the world. I actually got two knives, a little really tiny thing, really, 7-foot cut, and some of the sections are quite worn out. So I'm going to see how many rivets I've got. Sort of dependable on how many rivets I've got as to what I can do. But count the rivets, see if I've got enough rivets. I'll do the whole lot because I've got enough knife sections. The load come with them. So I'll do all this, and then I'm going to go down the combine, do grease up all the chains. I pumped up the tyres yesterday and everything. Got some diesel to put in it. And then going to insure it, get it all road legal tomorrow, and drive it down to this farm where we're going to use it. Interestingly enough, I think they've got a Lexus 770, which is like, it's the smaller of the rotary class of that period. So I say smaller. I don't know what's smaller about it, whether it's smaller or what, I don't know. But I think this is 770, sorry. So the 760 is a walker machine, 770 is a rotary, and the 780 is rotary. I think there might have been a 790 as well at some point, but I don't really know. I lost track of it all now. But I'm going to come alongside it with a little 7-foot thing. The funny thing is with driving that Europa, I've never driven it down the road, but I noticed that it's not like driving the Gleaners is just all right on the road, because you can stand up and look, see what's behind you. That Europa, you ain't got a chance. You don't know what's behind you. You just got to hope that whoever it is being sensible, because you want to turn right. You've just got to steadily move out and just hope that there's no one motoring behind you. But okay, I might try and get somebody to follow me up the road to sort of block them off to stop idiots from trying to smash into me. So yeah, right, catch you in a minute. Bye. It's getting very warm in here now, but I'm carrying on, persevering. I had a bit of problem. The rivets were, I didn't realise, I didn't notice until I knocked them out, that the rivets on the case are actually countersunk into the body of the knife, and I haven't got that type of rivet, so I'd already knocked them off, so I decided that it was time it was just a case of having to hit them rather than use that press that I was using. It wouldn't work properly because it doesn't bed them in, it wouldn't have bedded them in properly, so I've had to put them on an anvil and hammer them in. So, as I always do with when I'm doing knives, I clean the back of the section. Obviously, with old sections, they've been sitting around for a while, and they get a bit of rust on them, and I clean all that off because obviously when you're using it, you know, the movement will just file away the rust a bit. Whereas if you've got metal to metal contact, it's nice type of contact that's more likely to stay in position. Once it's all on, I'll just run the grinder gently over the rest of the knife. It's just a wire brush on the grinder, just to smoothen it off and that, so it cuts through the crop quicker. Otherwise, it would take a little while for the rust to wear off. Just the rust creates a little bit of drag. You see, it pulls a bit of power out the drive line. If you're not, it just every little helps like. So here we are, the class combine. So again, just do what I can before it goes dark. Hopefully, get a fair bit done. Well, you know how it is. Limited time and all that. So yeah, just got to connect the battery, drag it outside in the sunlight, and on we go. Just check all the chains, put the knife in, check the oil levels in the gear drive line, in the drive boxes. I think just basically do the stuff that's necessary for moving it tomorrow, hopefully. Realised I forgot the flashing beacon, so it's something I'm going to have to grab. Yeah, we'll go from there. Right. Just something to just let you know, if you're interested, if you haven't seen it already, check out Casterton Vintage channel on YouTube. Their latest video is the Galena 100 event, not last weekend, the weekend before. So, and the aerial footage and stuff what they did with a drone. A bloke called Brian Knight, who is Ron Knight's son. So most of you know about combines and know who Ron Knight is. You know, he was on Salvage Squad many years ago doing up a Massey combine, which he actually bought later on. But Ron isn't with us now. He died last year. So, but he was well known in the combine restoration world. A lot of his combines were actually one-offs, you know. But Knight sprayers, so they're not the sprayers you see. White tank, yellow writing, Knight sprayers. It's their company, but they quite like their combines. You know, Ron really was into them. The collection's been thinned down a little bit now, but they've still got some really real one-offs. You know, some of the machines they've got in their collection, there is nowhere, you won't see anywhere else in the world because there's just not any. They're gone. You know, there's some amazing stuff been done there. You know, I've seen some really interesting restorations done there. But anyway, I've got to get on. Limited time, limited sunlight, so I've got to get on with what I'm doing. So catch you in a minute. Bye. I can smell burning rubber. I left the blooming handbrake on like a donut. Yeah, nightmare. Oh mate, never mind. Yeah, that's the traction belt. Let's have a feel, see what's going on. I ain't got a clue how to track tension that. Doesn't look like the easiest thing to change either. Yeah, there's still some life in it anyway, so that's not something I'm going to be changing in a hurry. I'm just going to do the basic stuff. As long as it drives, that's all right, which it does. So I might have to get a little bit of belt dressing for it tomorrow, maybe go to the shop and get some. Yeah, so to be fair, that belt doesn't look too bad. Yeah, okay, so obviously when that pulley in there, you can't see it because it's focusing on the fence. When that pulley closes, when that pulley comes together, it makes it go quicker. So yeah, we'll see. I'll have a look at the book later, see what it says, but it doesn't look like the quickest job in the world to do that. It looks like all that's got to come off, so I won't be doing that this time. Should have done it before. Yeah, it's I don't know how much I'm going to be doing with it this time, but you know, it'll be alright. So there isn't. I have actually, and I've got another belt over there to put on it, but like I say, I want to get it running. So new knife, check the gearbox levels, grease the nipples, oil the chains, and get the beacon for it, and then it's all good. Right, see you in a while. So I've come to a bit of an unfortunate sticking point that I've not had before on gleaners or anything like that, but it's just obviously something that does happen. Is the problem being, a lot of these greases, see, the grease is lost its shape, and it's obviously the grease inside's gone hard. So case of how, yeah, at some point, I mean, I'm going to cut a little bit with it anyway. I'm going to grease what I can. Bit of a nightmare, but it's going to have to, those greases are going to have to be replaced, and obviously where the grease goes in is going to have to be picked out because it's been in there that long, it's gone hard. So not good. But I'm going to, like I say, it'll be alright to cut a bit, like a tankful or whatnot, but that's it. I wouldn't want to do any more with it because you just end up damaging everything. But I didn't realise it was going to be like this, but that is just part and parcel of having an old combine. I mean, this combine's done some years, you know, it's done a lot of work. These grease nipples have probably been, a lot of them have been on there since it was new, so it's to be expected, really. Bit hideous, but oh well, at least I mean, I've got the knife drive in. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get a box full of greases and do the whole lot. Mate, fair bit of work. So I think it's getting dark now, so oh well, there's not a lot I can do really, apart from just do what I can. And then, yeah, that's it. That's all I can do. So, never mind, not too excited. There you go. It's all the fun and games of having these things, isn't it? There you go. So, there you go. That's just one of them things. I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I'm just going to check the gearbox levels and grease everything that's to do with the driving it. So if I need to, I can drive it over tomorrow, put the fuel in it, and then that will do for today. I'll have to grease it when it's at the farm maybe. Right, so catch you later. bit noisy, not like a cleaner. Funny how loads of people like, well, it's a nice combine and that, but listen to it. Wow, never mind, shouldn't diss it, it's a nice combine, but really noisy. That knife drive, wow. Yeah, crazy. There you go, never mind. Call it a day with the video, but see you next time. Bye.